During the meeting, President Xi said that under their joint guidance, China-U.S. relations have remained stable. China and the United States should be partners and friends. This is what history has taught and what reality needs. He said the two countries do not always see eye to eye, given their different national conditions. It is normal for the two leading economies of the world to have frictions now and then. President Xi said in the face of challenges, the two leaders should stay the right course, navigate through the complex landscape and ensure the giant ship of China-U.S. relations sails steadily forward. Xi Jinping expressed readiness to continue working with Trump to build a solid foundation for China-U.S. relations and create a sound atmosphere for their development. President Xi said there is a good momentum in China's economic development. In the first 3 quarters of this year, China's economy increased by 5.2% and foreign trade expanded by 4%. He says this was not an easy accomplishment given domestic and external difficulties. The Chinese economy is like a vast ocean, resilient and promising. China has the confidence and capability to navigate all kinds of risks and challenges. The Chinese president said the 4th plenary session of the 20th CPC Central Committee adopted recommendations for China's economic and social development plan over the next 5 years. The country has worked over the past 7 decades to realise its development blueprint. President Xi said China has no intention to challenge or supplant anyone. China has always focused on managing its own affairs well and sharing development opportunities with the rest of the world. That is an important secret to China's success. China will further deepen reform across the board, expand opening up and promote higher quality economic growth while achieving an appropriate increase in economic output and advance well-rounded human development and common prosperity for all. This will also expand the space for cooperation between China and the United States. President Xi said Chinese and US teams have had an in-depth exchange of views on important economic and trade issues and reached consensus. He urged both sides to work out and finalise the follow-up steps as soon as possible and ensure that the common understandings are effectively upheld and implemented to inject confidence into the two countries and the global economy through solid deliverables. China-US economic and trade relations have experienced ups and downs recently, and this has also given the two sides some insights. Business relationships should continue to serve as the anchor and driving force for China-US ties, not a stumbling block or a point of friction. He said the two sides should think big and recognise the long-term benefit of cooperation and must not fall into a vicious cycle of mutual retaliation. The two teams can continue their talks in the spirit of equality, mutual respect and mutual benefit, and continuously shorten the list of problems and lengthen the list of cooperation. President Xi stressed that dialogue is better than confrontation. China and the US should maintain communication through various channels and at various levels to enhance mutual understanding. There's good potential for the two countries to work together on combating illegal immigration and telecom fraud, anti-money laundering, artificial intelligence, and responding to infectious diseases. Relevant departments should strengthen dialogue and exchanges and carry out mutually beneficial cooperation. He said China and the US should also engage in positive interactions on regional and international platforms. President Xi noted that the world today is confronted with many tough problems, and China and the United States can jointly shoulder its responsibility as major countries and work together to accomplish more great and concrete things for the good of China, the US and the whole world. China will host APEC 2026 and the US the G20 summit next year. President Xi said the two sides can support each other in making both meetings productive to promote world economic growth and improve global economic governance. President Trump said that it is a great honour to meet President Xi. Trump said China is a great country and President Xi is a well-respected great leader and has been a good friend of him for many years. The United States and China have always had a fantastic relationship and this will be even better. He called on the two sides to make both China and the US even better. Trump said China is the biggest partner of the US and the two countries can get many great things done for the world and have many years of success. As China will host APEC 2026 and the US will host the G20 summit next year, he expects both to be successful. The two presidents agreed to enhance cooperation in economic, trade, energy and other fields, and to encourage more people-to-people exchanges. The two presidents agreed to maintain interactions on a regular basis. President Trump looked forward to visiting China early next year and invited President Xi to visit the United States.